Okay, let's get started. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here. Let me share my experience with you. And this is my first time giving a presentation in English, and also my first time presenting at another Flutter meetup. So I'm excited. And yeah, if I say anything that's not clear, please let me know, and I will clarify it for you. Before we get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Yi Chen, living in Taiwan right now, in Asia. I'm a Flutter Taipei organizer, and our goal is to, like you, to promote Dart and Flutter. We organize a Flutter meetup in Taipei once a month, and we want to create a space to help developers and other companies who are interested in Flutter, so we can learn from each other and work together. And now I'm working for my own product, HerFit, which is a fitness app for female. So if you are a girl or woman and you like to exercise, workout to stay in shape, you can check out the app, HerFit, and try out. And let me know what you think. Give me some feedback. Now I'm at the company Passion Lab. We focus on blockchain and AI technology. We have tried some innovative and fun ideas. I think the product will be released this year. And when the time comes, I will share it with the community. And now I'm also a writer and speaker for Flutter. I'm at social media like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook group, and Medium. I like to share my experiences, what I've learned, and what I've struggled with, because I learn a lot from the community, especially on Twitter, and I want to contribute appropriately and help other developers. So if you like the content, please comment below and we can have a good chat. And today we will cover 5 parts. First is Dark timeline, and I will guide you through the Dark version updates, and let's take a quick review. And in the second part, we will go through what extension types is and what's the strength of it. And third, next, we have many examples to explain how to use extension types in our development. Fourth, Dart interoperability is about how Dart communicates efficiently and better with other languages. And finally, we will have a wrap-up for extension types to make you deeply memorize. And starting from July 2020, new safety preview and the stable version released in May 2021. Then in 2023, Dart 3 completely supports sound node safety. I believe that early developers have experienced a period of version upgrades and changes. Dealing with old code is a costly task and make you busy. And testing must be strengthened to avoid possible errors, which is very troublesome for all projects. The release of Dart 3 means that all projects need to support node safety, which not only reduces Dart compilation time, but also improves the stability of projects and packages. To the Dart 3.2 focuses on interoperability and WebGC. WebGC is the core of Dart to WebAssembly, improves the performance of Flutter Web. Dart 3.3 releases extension types. It's our topic to provide greater help in interoperability development. And this month, Google I/O, the latest version release is Dart 3.4. With the release of Google I/O, Dart macros finally has an experimental version, So yeah, it can generate code immediately, which will be of a great help to our future development. And today we will focus on extension types of latest version 3.3. And what is extension types? If you check the official document, there will be this sentence at the top, and it said an extension type is a compile time abstraction that wraps an existing type with a different static-only interface. It means extension types is a compile time abstractions that is like powerful class wrappers. It appears to optimize performance and enhance docs interaction with other languages. Extension types have several advantages. First, it enhances original types, current types like integer or string. You can decide which interfaces to expose when packaging the original type or add custom API. Second, the capabilities and complexity of the original type are hidden by default. So developer can only provide operations that are meaningful and useful to the project, to your use case. Third, extension types is the main helper of the JS interop library, allowing dot syntax to access JavaScript API is while maintaining security and avoiding unnecessary communication errors. Fourth, the common class wrapper, classic class wrapper runs at runtime, and there's always the overhead of using class and object, thus increasing memory usage and juicy processing costs. And extension types are like a cost-free abstraction layer, suitable for performance-sensitive scenarios, especially those with frequent operations on projects. And it still sounds a bit abstract now, but that's okay. We can go through some examples immediately and know how to use extension types. In this case, when in development, we use extension type and followed by name of the custom type. In this case, called I use my ID. And it also wraps an integer value ID. The wrapped type can be called representation type. And create object ID as you normally would using classes because it only exists in runtime. In compile time, the runtime will be regarded as a representation type. And in this case, one will be printed here. Remember, representation type is not a subtype. So in general, it cannot be assigned to a custom extension type. And in this case, when there are no customized new properties and function interfaces in my scope, the extension type has no function, so represents a limitation of the original behavior of representation type. So in this case, when I use ID to do other operations, only value can be accessed. It is the ID value, and other API are not supported and cannot be used. And of course, the representation type can be further expanded. In this case, I have an operator greater than, which mainly compares the values of two my ID objects. I can also write an additional method like is bigger than function to do the same thing and compare my ID object. And in this case, I created my ID object called self-ID. If I perform addition and subtraction operations, a compilation error will appear because their two operators are not defined in my scope in extension type. And third, if I use the greater than operator to compare with integers, an error will appear again because my actual requirement is to compare my ID. So it's not allowed. And fourth, the comparison of two my ID objects is no problem. It's suitable for my requirements. And next, I create a integer object number with a value 100 and reassign it, but replacing it with my ID is not possible. And the two are not allowed to update each other because they are not one of subtype. From this, we know the extension types allow us to expose only usable API and avoid some disallowed operations. And one thing to remember is that they are not in inheritance relationship, but can be forced to convert. Extension type and representation type can be directly converted to each other using us to do typecasting. It will be no problem at compile time. And safety alias. You can using increments allows the extension type to expose the representation type and call all its members properties, as well as any of our custom API in our scope. Has the capabilities of an original type with alias and checkable security. In this case, I need to calculate BNI. It's a body info. So I created two types, height and weight, both of which use increments double to obtain double capabilities. And after writing the calculate BNI method, it contains two extension type being parameters and helps calculate the BNI results. So I created two objects, height and weight, and call calculate BNI, giving the two parameters to get the result I wanted and print it out. If my parameters today are two doubles, of course, it's not allowed because I clearly defined that two extension types are required. And is it okay if the parameters are reversed, like giving weight first and then height for my method? Of course, the compiler will not allow it. Although they have common abilities, different types cannot be used incompetently. This is different from the alias writing of type diff, which cannot benefit from the compiler's type checking. So if you want to use type diff or extension type, it depends on your use case, your situation. Next, now let's talk about the focus of extension type, Dart interoperability. It's responsible for communication between Dart and other languages to ensure convenience and stability. I take a JS interop official library as an example. Extension types are currently the main solution in development, allowing the Dart side to access JavaScript API and interact using idiomatic syntax. It defines many JS-related types, such as JS_any, JS_object, JS_boolean. Each of them is extension types, thereby achieving stable communication between Dart and JavaScript. And the external keyword allows us to access external functions, which are often from other languages, like JavaScript. So you will often see them in Dart interoperability development. In addition to the official examples library, there is another well-known third-party package for reference. And eco Flutter So Loud is a package, and it is an audio engine that provides low latency, high performance audio playback. It is currently being maintained and updated. In this package, a type sound handle is customized, wrapping an integer ID, audio ID, which represents the ID of each audio, and is required for subsequent operations to perform audio control. In this case, instead of using pure and common integer, the extension type can be a more meaningful interface while improving readability for maintenance. So we can understand a little bit about how audio ID is generated and the process of its transmission. So after we call play function starting from the C++ in the play.cpp file, a new handle will be generated with audio ID. And go to the bindings player ffi.dart file, which is responsible for binding between Dart and C++ and uses FFI package for processing. Get a new handle object from C++, extract its ID value to Dart extension type. In this case, it's sound handle, which is extension type, and form a record type with arrow and return it. And Dart mainly assesses the solo.dart file. After calling play function, the record result will be obtained. The process will go through some arrow checks and finally get the sound handle object we are actually interacting with. Sound handle object is what we need. So in the actual development of Flutter, it's very simple and easy. We first get the solo instance and do initialization, then load the audio file we want and get the audio source. The first step is to call play, and the parameter is audio source, and then get the most important sound handle object, which is the code of all subsequent audio operations. So when you want to pause music, adjust the volume, move the progress bar, and release resources, you need this sound handle object, which is controlled by audio ID in this package. And finally, let's make a summary for everyone, review the key points and concepts we just talked about, and strengthen the memory of extension types. First, extension types exist at compile time and will be ignored at runtime. Extension type confirms that it is an extension of certain type, like I said, representation type during compilation. So when it is used at runtime, this abstraction will disappear and be represented by the original representation type. Next, we can add constraint or have new capabilities for extension types. Reduce the complexity of types and only provide meaningful interfaces that fit your development scenario. And next, it can save costs and greatly improve performance for your application. Because it has no unnecessary creation and consumption. In addition to saving memory costs, there is no juicy processing, so it can maintain your application performance well. To the fourth point, it is a good choice for Dart interoperability development. For a certain package or service, we can define the extension type that belongs to this situation like Solal package, so that it can be checked by the compiler while ensuring future maintainability and not being confused with the common type, like integer. It can be a great help in our development or in our project. So yeah, the above content is what I want to share today about extension type, and I hope it will be helpful to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, does anyone have any questions?
And at the moment I'm writing an article about extension type, and maybe will be published in these 2 days on Medium. So if you want to dive into extension type and know more about it, you can check my article maybe tomorrow or Saturday. Yeah.
Thank you for that. No, any questions? Okay. I think then we can wrap it up. Thank you so much, Ichan. Thank you so much, Dilum.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think we learned a lot today, and thank you, of course, so much, Shatan. I think we learned a lot today. We went over quite a few topics. I think this is the first in Sri Lanka doing an apartment meetup. But I think it's good, like we have a chance to talk to each other, you know, like when there's like 200 people, no one raises their hand. But I think today we were able to interact with it. So I think we'll wrap it up for today's meetup. We're gonna try and do these things a little more frequently. This is edition 1, we'll have edition 2, 3, 4 coming up. Yeah, I think we can wrap it up then. Okay, all right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming today, guys. All right, guys,
Thank
I think
you.
Dylan,
Appreciate.
we'll wrap it up as well, and I'll send you guys the recordings as well. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.